Hello and welcome to News on the Twos. I'm Megan McMahon.
And I'm Megan Delatorre. Here on News on the Twos, we bring you up to speed on local, regional, and national news. This OCU newscast provides the information you want to hear first from students at your very own university. In our last update on the Rehearsals restaurant, we told you about an official statement released by OCU President Robert Henry. Since then, Vice President of Student Affairs Dr. Rick Hall released a second statement that is now raising some new questions. For this continued investigation, News on the Twos' Haley Holloway partnered with Student Publications.
The university's first statement on March 28th said that the restaurant Rehearsals would not be serving alcohol at this time. 6 days later, OCU officials issued this statement, saying that Sodexo did make the university aware as part of its business plan that it would be serving alcohol, and that Stars Cash will not be allowed for the purchase of wine or beer in the restaurant. Because the first statement said Sodexo offered to at least temporarily not sell beer and wine, but the second statement implied that it might, the question remains, will Rehearsals be selling alcohol or not? We asked both Dr. Hall and Sodexo's Kelly Keegan that question specifically, and neither gave us a direct response. In an interview with Student Publications, Keegan said repeatedly,
"We are planning to be a competitive restaurant within the Uptown 23rd District."
Even though we don't have an official yes or no, beer taps have been installed in the restaurant within the last 3 weeks, and according to the Alcoholic Beverage Laws Enforcement Commission, Rehearsals could be issued its beer and wine license within the next 2 weeks. In the university's most recent statement, officials continue to say that the restaurant is not on campus and that the school is not a partner. We requested a copy of the lease agreement in order to clarify the nature of the business arrangement between the restaurant and the university, but both of our requests were denied.
If the lease agreement does include alcohol service in the restaurant, it could be in violation of several parts of the United Methodist Book of Discipline.
It says that all agencies, including educational institutions, when it comes to investing money, shall endeavor to avoid investments that appear likely, directly or indirectly, to support alcoholic beverages. The reason the discipline applies to the university is because of a trust clause between the United Methodist Church and OCU. In a previous interview, Bishop Hayes told us,
"Literally, these institutions hold in trust the welfare of the United Methodist Church as it concerns the educational arena, the educational community. They actually are our representatives in that arena."
OCU receives more money in apportionment from the Oklahoma United Methodist Church than any other United Methodist institution in the nation. According to Board of Trustees member Reverend Brian Bakeman,
between the foundation and us, we give over $1.2 million a year. And it's an important source of revenue for the university, obviously. And we take our role very seriously, representing the church on campus.
Haley Holloway, News on the Twos.
University officials say that the restaurant was approved by the Real Estate Committee of the university's Board of Trustees in January. However, it is unclear whether the full board was aware that Rehearsals plan to serve alcohol. Our requests for the minutes of that meeting were denied because they have not yet been approved. When we have more information, we will update you, but in the meantime, you can go to the campus newspaper or mediaocu.com.
A ceremony this week welcomed the public for the first time into what will be the new home of OCU's Law School. Law School Dean Valerie Couch and Chairman of OCU's Board of Trustees, Ron Norwick, gave a champagne toast to kick off the ceremony. The celebration included an open bar, a speech from President Henry, musical performances by OCU students, and a tour of all 5 floors of the building.
Plus, we don't look at this as the law school. We really look at this as an extension of the university.
President Henry says the new law school will also be used as a venue for special occasions such as entertainment performances or other business functions.
OCU tried out its new Blue Alert emergency system last Wednesday by emailing and texting faculty and students a text message. University officials said it resulted in a 99% success rate, and the messages were received within 1 minute of them being sent. If you need to register for Blue Alerts, visit bluelink.okcu.edu.
OCU released a new logo for the university last week. We're going to take a quick break, but when News on the Twos returns, why some students are saying the new star looks a little too familiar.
A career shouldn't be a job, it should be a passion. Oklahoma City University Mass Communications Department can be the piece to finding your passion, whether it be advertising, public relations, print, broadcast, or earn a graphic design minor. Professors teach you the skills you need to work in whatever industry you choose. OCU Mass Communications, the puzzle piece to your future.
First it was twice a week. Everybody else was doing it. Then one day I just did it all by myself. Now I can't stop.
It makes me feel powerful, you know? Like I can do anything.
It's the ultimate rush.
And every time feels like the first time.
Yeah, it does. You're not alone. It's okay. We've all been there.
My name is Brandon, and I'm hooked on service leadership.
Take the steps to living a better life by volunteering today.
Feels so good to finally say it. I love helping other people. Yeah!
Get motivated, get involved, get hooked on service leadership.
Chet is a 21-year-old college student. Luther is an 11-year-old fifth grader. Chet likes to play frisbee. Luther prefers video games. Chet likes to eat an apple for breakfast. Luther likes to eat sugary cereal. Chet has a girlfriend. Luther thinks girls have cooties. Chet is Luther's big brother. Hundreds of kids are waiting on you to become their big brother or big sister. Contact Big Brothers Big Sisters of Oklahoma today to learn how you can make a difference.
OCU has been working on rebranding the university for a while now, and the official reveal just came last week, but the newly distributed star logo is already raising some eyebrows around campus.
The new star logo that's already being used by the university resembles the one owned by Daystar Television, an international Christian television network based in Dallas.
We went and met with Daystar and visited with a copyright attorney regarding it, and neither party, us or Daystar, had an issue with the use of a similar star.
When we talked to Daystar, they told us that they were unaware that OCU is going to use a similar logo until OCU contacted them. Daystar says it's not a problem as long as OCU doesn't just use the star by itself, they also use the name of the university with it to help prevent confusion.
While OCU and Daystar are communicating about the issue, OCU has decided to move forward with the new logo, and they have already put it on the university's website.
We asked a graphic design expert about the process of making a unique logo.
From a design standpoint, there are a lot of things that are done over again. They're redone or they lead to something similar. That's always a possibility. To have something that's basically an identical interpretation of something is rare.
Pentagram, the agency hired to create the rebranding, first presented the university with the slogan "Shine On," which was copyrighted by Jimmy Dean and more than 30 other companies. Now, Some students are wondering about the similarity between the logo and the star that was trademarked by Daystar Television 6 years ago.
I just feel like we could be given a little more originality as our own university, and I think it kind of is less personable. It speaks to us less as a university if we have an image that's already been done or being copied.
OCU officials say they are not concerned about the issue because Daystar is not in a competing market with the university.
Although the university does not have an official slogan, they say the word "rise" might be seen on OCU merchandise. Governor Mary Fallin recently signed House Bill 1999. It allows the slaughtering of horses in Oklahoma instead of shipping them to other countries to be slaughtered and processed. Keeping the process in-state could mean strict regulation and better conditions for neglected and aging horses. The consumption of horse meat is illegal in Oklahoma, so the processed horses will be sold in other countries. Oklahoma has more horses than almost any other state in the nation. There's an estimated 326,000 horses in Oklahoma, wild and tamed.
Yesterday, Religious Life held its 5th annual Love Not Hate Day on the University Quad. Students and faculty were invited to the dye t-shirts and eat food catered by Sodexo.
5 years ago, Westboro Baptist Church came to OCU to protest its production of the Laramie Project. The university responded with a silent counter-protest where 350 people lined 23rd Street to show unity. After the protest, the campus Religious Life group decided to create a Love Not Hate Day.
It just was a day that the campus came together to really proclaim this is who we are. We are people who love all people and accept all people here.
This year's event coincides with national attention to gay rights stemming from DOMA and Proposition 8 cases in the Supreme Court, which deal with gay marriage discrimination.
While the nation is waiting to hear what might happen from Proposition 8 or DOMA in the Supreme Court, students here at OCU are focusing on love, not hate.
Reverend Long said that Love Not Hate Day became an annual event because Religious Life wanted to make it something that was an action, not just a reaction. She said it's a celebration of who we are.
If we're going to proclaim who we are, we're going to proclaim love and not hate.
In the meantime, the state of Oklahoma just passed a bill refraining the ban on gay marriage and urging the Supreme Court to uphold DOMA. The cell phone is 40 years old, and the device that was invented to allow people to better connect with one another is actually proving to make us lonelier. Recent studies show that instead of engaging in the world around us, we are turning to our smartphones and not interacting with people as much. Psychology professor Dennis Joasis tells us that it is actually easier than people think to get so caught up in their phones.
What happens with the phone, because it's socially acceptable, it makes it easier to withdraw and consequently become somewhat isolated. And the phone is not like having a relationship with a person.
People look at the invention of the cell phone as blessing or harm to society. Dr. Joyce says he hopes people can learn to put their phone away during times that should be spent enjoying the company of others.
Samoa Air has recently become the first airline in the world to charge passengers by their weight. This means flyers will get weighed at the airport and pay based on what they weigh and for the fixed price of their checked bag. Although this idea has been floating around multiple airports worldwide, it is not in effect at Oklahoma's own Will Rogers Airport. Obesity, being a major problem in the Pacific Islands, is what prompted what some are calling the fat tax and others refer to as pay as you weigh.
OCU Stars have a lot going on this week in sports. After the break, News on the 2's Jay Howard will tell you all about how this week's crazy weather is going to have a huge impact on the rest of the baseball season.
OCU is smart.
Fun. Cute. Driven. So busy. Expressive. Exciting. But you know this, you go here. OCU is my school.
Starcy's a great mascot. He's very enthusiastic. Sometimes his animal instinct takes over, though.
There are plenty of teams in every sport that have great players and never win titles. Most of the time, those players aren't willing to sacrifice for the greater good of the team. One thing I believe to the fullest is that if you think and achieve as a team, the individual athletes will take care of themselves. Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships.
OCU is that open shot to a winning goal.
Countless rehearsals for one flawless routine.
Learning to serve before trying to lead.
Learning a language everyone can understand. OCU is
me.
Me.
Me?
I'm OCU.
I don't work a 9 to 5, but I have a job to do.
I don't wear a tie, but I still wear a suit in my court.
My field of work is an average, and my time around the water cooler is limited.
I work overtime, but the payoff is worth it.
I don't work a 9 to 5, but I have a job to do. I'm an OCU athlete.
I'm an OCU athlete.
I'm an OCU athlete.
I'm an OCU athlete.
Welcome back. I'm Jay Howard with a look at News on the Twos Sports. With Oklahoma's crazy weather, the spring season feels a little more winter than anything. Tuesday night's rain and hailstorm caused OCU's baseball field a little more trouble than anyone had expected. It blew over the nets behind the field, causing a chain reaction, bringing down the wooden poles and a light post as well. With the big game coming up this weekend against nationally ranked Lubbock Christian University, who knows what will happen.
So we're meeting today. We have games scheduled this weekend, and we're really doing 2 or 3 things. One, we're looking to see if there's another field here in town that we could use. We're talking to our opponent to see if there's any flexibility in the scheduling of the games.
According to Assistant Director of Risk Management Ian Wolf, 27th Street will be closed until Monday to clear the debris. You can take Kentucky Avenue North to 28th Street as a detour. With all the commotion on what will happen at OCU's baseball field, the athletic department is concerned if it will be repaired in time before the weekend. The men's team is holding its annual Dad's Day baseball game, where the players' dads all come into town and play with their sons after the Lubbock Christian game. Depending on the field's condition, OCU, the location of the game, is still undecided. Student athletes all have a similar job to do on and off the field, studying and keeping good grades. While on the field, they are striving to be the best. OCU's own Hunter Swink is a freshman majoring in both marketing and economics, who has aspirations of being a manager of marketing at a business. Hunter is one of few student athletes on the men's cross-country team and track team with the GPA higher than 3.5. Is being a student athlete hard to do? Hunter thinks not.
Really find that going to Oklahoma City University has put me in a perfect position to have people around me, such as my coach, Connor Holt, and my teachers, that give me the opportunity to come to them to really help me through everything that comes with the first experience of going to college.
Hunter now holds the OCU men's record for the 800 meter at 1 minute and 29 seconds. With 6 meets left before Nationals on May 23rd, Hunter looks to impress at the KT Woodman's Classic in Wichita, Kansas tomorrow. OCU men's and women's golf had a successful couple of weeks couple of days this week. The teams played through Monday and finished on Tuesday at their respective tournaments. Despite the 26-mile-per-hour wind gust, the men's team, ranked second in NAIA, came in third place at the Louisiana Monroe Wallace Johns Invitational on Tuesday. The women's team, ranked fourth in NAIA, finished second at the UMKC Kangaroo Invitational on Tuesday. Both teams will return to action on April 22nd for the SAC Championships at the Dornick Hills Golf and Country Club in Ardmore. The men's rowing team started the seasons off strong by placing 7th out of 21 in the San Diego Crew Classic. The race came close and ended with the top 12 finishing within 3 seconds of each other. The Stars say they were happy with their result and have their next competition April 19th in Tennessee. OCU Spirit Squads have a big weekend coming up. Cheer and Palm is taking part in Nationals in Daytona Beach. Competition began April 11th. They're looking to defend their titles in all-girls and large co-ed cheer, and hopefully add 6 more championships this year. The event will air on CBS Sports Network at 11 a.m. on April 28th and on May 5th also at 11 a.m. We have to take a quick break, but when we get back, News on the Twos, Anita Wynn, will tell us all about the latest drama between Rihanna and Chris Brown.
OCU is smart, fun, cute, driven, so busy, expressive, exciting. But you know this, you go here. OCU is my school.
Starcy's a great mascot. He's very enthusiastic. Sometimes his animal instinct takes over, though.
There are plenty of teams in every sport that have great players and never win titles. Most of the time, those players aren't willing to sacrifice for the greater good of the team. One thing I believe to the fullest is that if you think and achieve as a team, the individual accolades will take care of themselves. Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships.
Chet is a 21-year-old college student. Luther is an 11-year-old 5th grader. Chet likes to play frisbee. Luther prefers video games. Chet likes to eat an apple for breakfast. Luther likes to eat sugary cereal. Chet has a girlfriend. Luther thinks girls have cooties. Chet is Luther's big brother. Hundreds of kids are waiting on you to become their big brother or big sister. Contact Big Brothers Big Sisters of Oklahoma today to learn how you can make a difference. Chet is a 21-year-old college student. Luther is an 11-year-old 5th grader. Chet likes to play frisbee. Luther prefers video games. Chet likes to eat an apple for breakfast. Luther likes to eat sugary cereal. Chet has a girlfriend. Luther thinks girls have cooties. Chet is Luther's big brother. Hundreds of kids are waiting on you to become their big brother or big sister. Contact Big Brothers Big Sisters of Oklahoma today to learn how you can make a difference.
Welcome back to News on the Twos. I'm Anita Wynn with a look at your Hollywood highlights. Beyonce and husband Jay-Z took a trip to Cuba for their 5th anniversary wedding last weekend. However, this is illegal. American tourists have not been allowed to travel to Cuba since the 1960s. Beyonce and Jay-Z's trip was under investigation until sources confirmed that their trip was approved as a part of an educational exchange trip. Looks like the couple is in the clear. It has been reported that William and Kate's baby will be arriving mid-July. Sources say the gender of the baby has not been released. However, Kate almost slipped up in an interview, revealing that she might be having a daughter. The only people who know is the couple's close family members. They supposedly have already chosen a name if it's a girl, Elizabeth Diana Carroll. We will have to wait until July to know for sure. Fashion icon Lilly Pulitzer, 81 years old, passed away on Sunday, April 7th. The cause of her death is unknown. Pulitzer designs were always bright and colorful and ranged from swimsuits to country club attire to men's clothing. Her husband owned a citrus grove, so Lilly opened a juice stand. And to hide the spills on her shirts, she started a colorful clothing line. Her bright and exciting designs will surely be missed in the fashion world. Rumors have been floating around that Rihanna and Chris Brown have split once again, but now sources are saying that they are back together. People were surprised they reunited after the scandal in 2009 when Brown was arrested for attacking Rihanna. It seems this relationship is constantly on the rocks and people don't really know what to believe. As for now, it seems the couple is getting back together. And that's it for your Hollywood highlights. Back to you, Megan.
Last weekend, the university came together for its annual event fighting cancer. Relay for Life lasted from Friday night to Saturday morning. Survivors, loved ones, and many others gathered around on the quad to pay tribute to those who have fought cancer, while raising money for a future where we won't have to. Relay committee members said the event raised just under $30,000. Fundraising will continue online until the end of May.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of News on the Twos.
Join us next time on Channel 22.